Tara, you tell us all the time that we need to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose body fat, but you also tell us that you don't recommend counting calories. What gives? I got a question very similar to that. I think I remember most of the words. It's up in my stories right now, but that actually was the impetus for this video today for you guys. So it's a fantastic question, and she was absolutely right. I talk about how for fat loss only, the thing that you really need to know is that you need to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose body fat. It's simple, that part. There's a lot of other craziness out there about how to be really healthy and how to optimize this and all that, but when it comes to fat loss only, it's very simple. You need to be in a calorie deficit. That's how you lose body fat. That's the only way to lose body fat. And at the same time, I talk about how it's really not great for our mental health. It's really not very accurate, calorie counting. So, can I put those two things together for you guys? Well, I'm going to try to do that for you today. So if calorie counting isn't your thing, you're just not into it at all, or you've tried it in the past and you hated it because it sucks and it's restrictive and nobody wants to do it, then this video is going to be for you. First of all, if we haven't met, I'm Tara. Nice to meet you. I'm a women's health registered nurse, and I am a nutritionist, a personal trainer, and a health coach. And I come and I do these videos every single Wednesday. I also post tons of content, so feel free to check it out if you think it might be helpful. All free stuff. I'm a coach, and I help people get healthy, fit, and strong. So let me back it up a little bit and talk to you guys about what it means to want to lose body fat. It might sound intuitive, but there's a few little nuanced details there that are worth going over. So number one, if you are somebody that says you want to lose weight, you want to lose body fat, but also, and this is the one that's not as obvious, if you say that you want to tone up, get leaner, have more definition, if this is any part of your language when you talk about your goals, then you also want to lose body fat, okay? So if you want to lose weight in general, or you say that you want to tone up, get leaner, get more defined, whatever, both of those groups of people are people that are looking to lose excess body fat. If you are looking to lose excess body fat, it means that up until this point, right, because all of our results that we have right now are based on what we've done in the past. So up until this point, you've been taking in more calories than your body requires. If you're telling me that you want to lose body fat, the only way to get rid of that body fat is to allow your body to actually use it up as energy. So if you have not been allowing your body to use it up as energy, that means that you're supplying all of your energy needs from your food, so your body doesn't have a reason to go take it from your stored body fat. It's going to keep it there in case it needs it in the future. The only way that you can tap into your stored body fat is by taking in less energy than you need, so your body has a reason to go grab the rest of the energy that it needs from your stored body fat, okay? So no big deal, no shame, but I'm just gonna give it to you straight. If you have extra body fat on your body, that's your decision, nobody else's, you get to decide that for yourself, then that just means that you've been taking in more than your body is requiring, okay? That's gonna be vastly different for different people. It's not a value statement. You might not be eating that much, right? That's very subjective, but it just means that your body has a certain amount of needs. You are meeting its needs or exceeding its needs without allowing it to tap into its body fat. Hey, Nikki, thanks for joining. So a lot of people don't want to count calories, right? You've tried it in the past. It really sucks. It's restrictive. It's not sustainable, and it's not even very accurate. Our labels can be off. Those little machines that tell you what you're burning at the gym, those are notoriously off, okay? So do not rely on that. So here's how we do it. It's a 3-step process, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to pull this off. I have, I think, 8 different tips here. Number 1, you need to get some sort of baseline of what you're taking in right now. So if you don't want to count calories, by the way, if you think that you can count calories and not be emotional about it, and also sort of understand that it's not an exact science, and you've never done it before and you just kind of want to educate yourself about how many calories are in different foods and stuff, sure, go for it. I'm not saying that nobody should ever do it. I'm just saying for myself and for most of the people that I work with, it's really not the best option. So another way to get a baseline of what you're taking in is to sort of pay attention to how often you're eating, how much you're eating. You can do this by portion sizes. You can sort of eyeball it. We all have our smartphones with us at all times. You can simply snap pictures. But for a while, I'm going to say at least a week or so, take a baseline with trying not to change anything of what you're taking in now. It's really important that you understand where you're starting from, because how do we know if we're going to be starting to take in less if we don't know where we're starting from, right? So somehow document what it is that you're taking in now. You need to get that baseline. Step number 2, you make a change. And I'm going to go over many different changes that you can make, but make a change, implement it, be consistent about it. And then step number 3 is you're going to look at the data. Did it work? Did it not? Do you want to implement another change? Did it work a little bit and you want to layer something else on top of it? How are you feeling? How's your body doing? Do you feel great and strong and energized? You need to collect all the data, right? This is really just like a scientific experiment of one on your own body. So you're going to get a baseline of what you're taking in now. You're going to make a change, and then you're going to go back and say, did this work or not? And make a decision from there. So here's some of the changes that you can make. Number 1, prioritize protein and non-starchy vegetables. Vegetables are fantastic for us. They're also full of fiber and they help to fill us up. So there are different things that sort of tell our body that we're full. And one of which is these stretch receptors that we have in our stomach. So volume of food can be important for this. There are other reasons also, but volume of food can be important. So by taking in lots of non-starchy vegetables, you're going to boost your health. That's always a win-win. And you're also going to take in that fiber and increase the volume in your stomach. That's going to help so that you don't have this crazy appetite. Protein is another, it's a macronutrient that really helps us to feel full. Again, it's also great for health. It's great for repair, rebuilding, healing, and all those things. We need protein. So that's a good thing too. But if you're prioritizing your protein and your non-starchy vegetables, that's a great place to start. So a lot of people will like to say eat the protein and the non-starchy vegetables first, and then see how much room they have left over and go for their, let's say they have, rice on the side or something, then go for that afterwards. We don't need necessarily the rice. We can have it. It certainly can help, and it can be helpful for certain things that we've got going on, especially if we're training hard. But if you sort of save that towards the end, you'll have a better idea of how much room you really have. So that's number 1, prioritize protein and non-starchy vegetables. Number 2, pay attention to your fat. We need fat. We need to take in fat from our food, and also we need to pay attention to portion sizes because it is so concentrated that it's very easy to overdo. So a serving of fat is, everybody give me a thumbs up, serving of fat is the size of your thumb. Okay, so these are your nuts, your full fat dairy, nut butter, oils, olive oil, avocado. Yes, that's a serving. I'm not saying you should only ever have 1 serving at a time. That's up to you. But this way you can start to be aware, like, oh, I had 10 servings of fat in my dinner tonight. Just start to be aware of it, because that could be part of your baseline from which you are able to then cut back. Please keep fat in your diet. It's extremely important. We need it, but just start to pay attention, because this could be an easy place for you to simply cut back. Maybe you're having 4 tablespoons of peanut butter with your afternoon snack of an apple and peanut butter, and you could cut that back and have 2 tablespoons instead. And there's a big place to cut back and to make those changes. Hey, Bridget, thanks for joining. Tip number 3 is to make one of your meals every day either a huge salad or some sort of a vegetable-based soup. Okay, again, something with the non-starchy vegetables that's going to help fill you up. The soup also has the extra liquid in it. That's going to help to fill you up as well. And you're getting in your vegetables. You got to add the protein on top of that and pay attention to your fats too. But that's a nice way to feel nice and full and get in a lot of the nutrients that you need. Tip number 4. Aim for an overnight fast unless you have any kind of contraindications, okay? I can't prescribe anything for you, but if there's no contraindications, aim for an overnight fast of at least 12 hours. So maybe you want to stop eating at 6 p.m. and you eat your breakfast at 6 a.m. Maybe it's 7 and 7, maybe it's 8 and 8. But either way, it's going to help give your body that amount of time that it needs to do all of its important cellular cleanup, and also give you sort of a time frame to know, like, okay, this is my last meal of the day, and it sort of cuts back on a lot of that mindless snacking that goes on at nighttime. And maybe you still want to save yourself some time to have a snack at night, that's fine, but you're being more intentional about it. So you're not having 4 snacks at night before bed. You're just gonna have your cutoff time before, at least 12 hours before your breakfast. Tip number 5, do you really need as many snacks as you've been having? Do you really need an early morning snack, a mid-morning snack, an early afternoon snack, a late afternoon snack, dessert, and then like 1 more snack before bed? No, probably not. We don't need to be eating that often. Can you take out one of your snacks? Can you cut back one of your snacks, like cut it in half? The other thing is, if you're snacking, can you switch it over to either a fruit or a vegetable with either a fat or a protein? So an apple with peanut butter would be a good example. Carrots and hummus, something like that, because those fruits and vegetables are going to give you a greater bang for your buck, right? They're pretty low in calories, but they can help fill you up. And you're bringing the protein or the fat on board, helping to level off your blood sugar, helping to make you feel full. And that should be sort of like a bridge snack to get you, if there's a long time between your meals, then have that bridge snack to get you to the next meal. That was sort of another tip. So I just jumped ahead on that one. The next one is alcohol. For a lot of people, this is not going to apply. You don't drink that often. You have a glass or two on the weekends, whatever. That's not really going to be the big thing. This is really for you if you're drinking 1 glass, 2 glasses every single night or most nights. Guess what? Those calories add up and they're pretty much empty calories. Yes, you are getting antioxidants if you're drinking wine, of course. But other than that, you're not getting any important protein, any healthy fats, nothing like that. So can you cut back on the alcohol? Can you save it for just the weekend? Can you just, you can do anything with this. If you're drinking every single night, can you just Tuesday, Thursday, cut back on Monday, Wednesday, Friday right away? Do something here. Again, you're going to get your baseline first, and then you're going to see what you can do. These things will start to add up as you make these changes. Okay, this is a big one. Wait until you're hungry to eat. Don't try to prevent hunger ahead of time. How many times do we go into a meeting, we're not hungry, but we're like, you know what? I'm really afraid that I'm going to start feeling hungry in the middle of this meeting. So I better eat right now so I can prevent myself from getting hungry. Guys, we cannot be afraid of being hungry. I'm not saying to be starving, and I'm not saying to walk around being hungry all of the time, but I am saying that it's perfectly normal for us to feel some hunger, just like it's perfectly normal for us to feel satisfied. Okay, it's not that hunger is bad and feeling satisfied is good. They're just two sides of the spectrum, right? They're both okay. They're all okay. So allow yourself to feel some hunger. That is what's going to happen when your body is tapping into its body fat stores, because guess what? Your body doesn't want to get rid of its body fat stores. It feels very safe having the amount of body fat that you have right now. So once you start going through that body fat, you're going to get all kinds of signals that tell you that you should be hungry, because it wants you to go out there and replace the food so that you can replace that body fat so it feels safe again. But you know that you are totally safe. You know that you can get your hands on another meal when you need to, right? Don't be afraid of hunger. I'm not saying, again, really important, not saying to starve yourself, not saying to be hungry 24/7, but allow this up and down to go. Feel some hunger. It should come on gradually. You shouldn't have to be hangry. Okay, that's a different issue. That's probably a blood sugar regulation issue, but your hunger should come on gradually, not feel that bad. It might be just a little uncomfortable, and then it's time to eat, right? You eat until you're satisfied, not stuffed, and then you wait for that whole process to happen again. If you do that, this is the key to being in tune with your body and what your body needs. Your body will tell you when it needs to eat. That little bit of hunger time that you're allowing it is giving your body the chance to use up some of its body fat stores. Perfect. Bring in what you need, nourish your body so you're nice and healthy and fit and strong, but allow a little bit of that hunger time so your body can go through its stored body fat. That's really like the most important of everything I'm saying today. Now, if emotional eating is your thing, if that's your kryptonite, if you can do all of these things and it's no big deal, but you still find yourself having trouble because you've got this stress eating, emotional eating habit, and it's happening very often and it's interfering with your goals, DM me, send me a message, because I have done other videos in the past that are going to be really helpful for you, and I'd love to send you the link to it. So just send me a message if that's your thing. And if it's that you're binging because you are so restrictive, that's a different story. That's a physiological thing then. That means that you're eating too little and driving yourself crazy, and eventually your brain is going to win and it will make you seek out the food, and that's when you have this uncontrollable binge that happens. So you have to differentiate. Is this a stress emotional eating thing, or is this I'm starving because I didn't pay attention to my body before when it was whispering and now it's yelling at me? Okay, two different things, but neither one of which are really related to this whole process. So to wrap it up really quickly, if you want to lose body fat, you want to either lose weight or you want to tone up, get leaner, whatever, you've been taking in more energy than your body needs, according